It's 1494. As King Charles VIII prepares his invasion, many in Italy ponder on the legitimacy and the utility of this. The Ottoman Turks had invaded Italy 14 years previously, and Charles now plans a crusade against them. He intends to use the Kingdom of Naples as a base. In any case, he is the rightful heir to the throne of Naples, Ferdinand, the current king, being a usurper. Or so he claims. Ferdinand would disagree. To understand whose claim is the right claim, one must take a closer look at the history of Naples. Angevin Kings. It's 1382, 1 century before Charles's invasion. Once a great kingdom, Naples is well past its glory. Sicily had been lost to Aragon, leaving only the mainland and Provence to its Angevin rulers. The childless Queen Joanna I dies, leaving the kingdom in disarray. Rather than bequeathing it to a cadet branch of the Anjou Durazzo, she decides to leave it to a more distant claimant, Louis I of the house Anjou-Valois. Both Anjou and Valois are proud descendants of the ancient Capetian line of Frankish kings. The Valois rule France, and the Anjou rule Naples. The Anjou-Valois are a hybrid of the two, Louis I being the second son of the King of France. His opponent is Charles III of the Anjou-Durazzo line. Charles presses his claim vigorously and manages to win the Kingdom of Naples. Louis and the Anjou-Valois are left with Provence. Joanna II. Charles is succeeded by his son Ladislaus, who in turn has to battle with Louis I's son, Louis II. When he dies in 1414, his 41-year-old sister Joanna II takes the throne. Like her previous namesake Joanna I, she is also childless. Alfonso V. Wishing to avoid the war for succession, Pope Martin V, who is the nominal feudal lord of the Kingdom of Naples and no friend of Joanna, decides to invite Louis III, grandson of Louis I of the house Anjou-Valois, to succeed her. Joanna has other ideas, so she appeals for help to the powerful and ambitious King of Aragon, Alfonso V. Alfonso lands in Italy and expels Louis from Naples. The delighted Joanna names him as her heir, however after Alfonso kills her lover she changes her mind. Fleeing to Louis, she declares her previous will null and void, and names Louis as her rightful heir. At this point Alfonso has to return to Iberia to pursue war with Castile. In his absence, Joanna and Louis retake the kingdom by 1424. Alfonso decides to bide his time. Louis dies in 1444, Joanna 1 year later. In her final will, she leaves her kingdom to René of Anjou, Duke of Provence and brother of Louis III. René tries to press his claim, however Alfonso outmaneuvers and outfights him. Might is right. He takes possession of Naples in 1442 after a 6-month siege, ending the 1.5 century rule of Angevin monarchs. Not having any legitimate children, he leaves the Kingdom of Naples to his illegitimate son, Ferdinand I or Ferrante, and Aragon with Sicily to his brother, John II. French claim to Naples. Being an illegitimate son and the head of an ill-gotten kingdom, it's no wonder Ferdinand's rule is challenged. His power is more a result of his opponent's weakness, rather than his own strength. René is far too impoverished to challenge him, however when René dies, he has to face a far more capable enemy, the sovereign of the strongest country in Europe, the King of France. Charles, being of the house Valois, has an obvious claim to the throne that rightfully belongs to the Anjou-Valois. He himself has some Anjou blood, his grandmother being Mary of Anjou, the daughter of Louis II, son of Louis I. The The same Louis to whom Joanna I had bequeathed Naples way back in 1382. Furthermore, Charles's father managed to coerce René to will his provinces and his claim to Naples to the French crown. Charles clearly has the better claim to Naples, but to get there he has to cross Italy and the multitude of independent states that lie in his way. The 5 city-states. After the wars in Lombardy that raged between 1423 and 1454, 5 leading states emerged on the peninsula. Venice, being the victor of the war, greatly expanded its territory. Augmented by its naval empire, it dominates trade in the Mediterranean and thus possesses wealth rivaling that of the greatest kingdoms of Europe. Milan, a center of manufacturing, is ruled by the Sforza. They are a family of former soldiers, self-made men who took power after the old dukes of Milan, the Visconti, died out. Florence is ruled by the Medici. Like the Sforza, they are also self-made men. Their power comes from money, the Medici being the greatest bankers in Italy. They are capitalists, a new breed of men. They approach politics from a point of view of business. War is bad for business, so the Medici desire peace above all else. Between them and the Kingdom of Naples are the Papal States. The Papal State is a clerical land, but this fact does not prevent its sovereign ruler, the Pope, from pursuing secular matters. The popes of this age are some of Italy's most prominent secular rulers, signing treaties, doing politics, and waging wars. Peace of Lodi, Italic League. The Peace of Lodi concludes the wars in Lombardy, instituting a regional balance of power. The 5 major states, Venice, Milan, Florence, the Papal States, and Naples, acknowledged that none could dominate the other. This ushers in 40 years of peace and prosperity, however it also prevents Italy from unifying under a single monarch, as had happened in France or in Spain. To remedy this, they form a mutual defense pact, the Italic League. All states agreed to maintain status quo and not to conclude any alliances with foreign powers. This was all good and well, until some unforeseen events started to happen in Milan. Milan was ruled by Francesco I Sforza, and then by his son Galeazzo Maria Sforza, who was assassinated in 1476. Next in line is his 7-year-old son, Gian Galeazzo Sforza. Due to his young age, he is assisted in governance by his uncle, the 4th son of Francesco I, Ludovico il Moro Sforza. Thus Ludovico is the de facto ruler of Milan, and he grows to love power, so when the young duke comes of age, he decides to act. In the autumn of 1494, Gian Galeazzo dies under mysterious circumstances. Many say as a result of poison, administered to him by his uncle. Gian Galeazzo was married to Isabella of Naples, and has a son Francesco. He is the rightful heir to Milan, and Isabella's father, Ferdinand I of Naples, decides to press his claim. A Neapolitan invasion of Milan is imminent. Ludovico must act. Enter Charles VIII, claimant to the throne of Naples, the enemy of Ludovico's enemy. An expedient solution to an imminent problem. The consequences? No one knows them yet, but they will soon find out, including Ludovico himself.